Good morning, culture. Good morning to all Tune in Dave. Good morning. Good morning, Skeeter. Good morning, Miss Anita over there in St. Thomas. Good morning. Welcome, Mario. Not forgetting my folks in Nevis. A good morning. And I want to start over there in Nevis today. I saw this headline that says, give me 1 second. You know, when you have this stuff and then it goes, 275 young Nevisians benefit from NIA's financial assistance program and investment in tertiary education. So kudos to Mr. Brantley over there in Nevis, ensuring that his administration is assisting the young Nevisians to ensure a bright future for both Nevis and the Federation as well. And over there in Nevis as well, it says the Helen's Daughters and Four Seasons Nevis partner again to launch the first ever farmers. So it's farm, but it's hers. So it's farm spelled with hers market in Nevis. And we know next month is international. We have our International Women's Day. So this is a great initiative. And I also see on the local scene, Skelec partners with Carilec to co-host 2025 Human Resource Corporate Communications and Customer Service Conference in St. Kitts. And this is an ongoing thing. On the regional side, Sunrise Airways CEO welcomes calls for reduced aviation taxes in the Caribbean. We know that is something that we hope for. I know a lot of airlines have been fighting for that, but it has not been happening. On the international scene today, we see fighting in the eastern DRC, that's the Republic of the Democratic Republic of the Congo, killed about 7,000 people since January, the Prime Minister said. And we know we had about 70 Christians that were beheaded the other day in a church. I don't know what is too heinous to report or what is not too heinous to report by the media, but I didn't see it on mainstream media. I remember Miss Henry calling in and mentioning it to us. And then when I went looking, I only saw it on the Christian Broadcasting Network. So I'm going to touch a little on that article. And this article is from Al Jazeera, and it says more than 7,000 people have been killed in fighting in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo since last month. Prime Minister Judith Suminwa says, with a significant number of civilians among the dead. Speaking to the United Nations Human Rights Council in Switzerland on Monday, Suminwa warned that the security situation in the eastern DRC has reached alarming levels. About 3,000 deaths were reported in Goma, the capital of the eastern DRC North Kivu province. The Prime Minister said she added that more than 25,000 bodies were buried without being identified, while another 1,500 were still in morgues. There is a significant mass of civilians who are part of these dead. Sumi Niwa said, since the Rwanda-backed M23 rebel group has captured swaths of the eastern DRC, including the key cities of Goma and Bakuv, Goma and Bakuv, the capital of South Kivu province. The group's rapid offensive has prompted concerns from world leaders, including UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, who recently warned that fighting could push the entire region over the precipice. So we have Mr. Quilly on the other side of things. So Mr. Quilly, what do you think of this? Every time there is some unrest, like Haiti, that is completely black, and like the Republic of Congo and Rwanda, two black nations fighting against each other. What do you think about that? And to our listeners, feel free to call in and weigh in on the conversation. I know Burl, good morning. I know this is something you would love to weigh in on. Why are we as blacks continuously fighting against each other?
You know, that's a problem I try to twist it over in my mind, and the only conclusion I can come to is that not that it should happen, but that it is because we have been fighting among each other for so long, why we can't get to the level as a people that we should, because instead of working on the things that would elevate us and advance us as a race, we are fighting against each other. And once you have war, you don't have time to advance.
Not at all.
You just destroy.
Exactly.
Even your very own infrastructure that has been there, you destroy. So I don't know what goes through the minds of these people, other than they just want revenge, and it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
But revenge for what? Because these fightings have been going on for centuries. That's why sometimes when people hear me say, oh, we enslaved our own self, they'll say, oh, no, it's not us. But we were enslaving ourselves before the whole slave trade come around, because we were fighting with each other over in those parts, collecting loots, which included people, and we were enslaving folks. So I won't put it past us that we were the cause of it. Yeah, we didn't. And I think we supplied people and plied the trade. A lot of people is going to say, no, that's not the case. But
well, I kind of agree with you, and I kind of disagree with you, because
Fair enough.
because yes, you see, there are parts of our history that we need to own up to. And the part that we need to own up to is we need to stop telling our children that everything was perfect in Africa, and there have always been some tribal wars and all those kind of stuff. Where I tend to disagree is that still doesn't justify another race coming in and enslaving you, okay? But I agree with you that because we were fighting among each other, it made it easier for them to come and cause a bigger divide and eventually enslave our people.
Exactly.
Yes.
And look at what we're fighting over: resources, land. We brought these here. Did we bring these things here? When I look at, like last night I was looking at something that I wanted to talk about too. About 10 countries, apparently from last December, the U.S. is not allowed to go into. And when I look, and as you rightfully said, when I look at how the infrastructure of those countries are destroyed, millions and millions of dollars are going to have to go back, like in Afghanistan, in Yemen, millions. Look, in Palestine, look, a once thriving nation. When you see the pictures, you cannot believe this is the same place. Rubble, dust.
In Palestine, this is a completely different story. People keep going back to, especially a lot of the religious Christian-minded people, they tend to say, well, you went and when Hezbollah, I think it was, went and captured some...
You mean to start the Hamas?
Yeah, to start in brackets, okay? But they tend to forget that if I am living in this space, this studio is my home. It was my home before I knew about you. Then all of a sudden you come and you take up, you come and take up half of my space, my home. I think I am always justified, without giving you notice, that I walk back my home.
Exactly.
And this is what people conveniently ignore. This is what Europe doesn't put into their stories. They don't tell you, if and when, this is my opinion, if and when the Palestinians want to get back their places, and I am not condoning violence, but you understand what the scenario I use.
Because it's the same thing with having a house guest. They say they come for 2 weeks and then you realize 2 months.
You understand?
3 months. So you need to ask the question, what is going on? How can I assist? You said 2 weeks. I can't accommodate you anymore, especially if they're not contributing. It's time for you to leave.
Perfect example. So that is it. But back to the Africa thing. There are other aspects of it too. I think what is needed in Africa with a lot of these people who are warring need some good leaders, because there just aren't leaders savvy enough to say, let's stop fighting among each other, because while we're fighting, the rest of the world gets what they want, which is our resources. Some of the colonialists who came in, they push these wars. They give you guns. They say, look at he's doing that, and look at that, and you don't remember what they have done to you
Mm.
for a long period. All you think about is what. Have you ever seen where there are two black individuals and one of the black individual will be cursing the other black individual and saying, "You're black and you're ugly and you're this and you're that."
All the time.
And while he's cursing, a white individual passes and he stops and he says, "Hi and hello, how you doing? You having a nice day? Welcome to my." You understand what I'm saying? We find it easy to fight against each other,
Yeah.
those of our own pigmentation, and we embrace the others.
Yeah.
And while we are embracing the others, not all of the others have good intentions.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
Yeah. Because even in the US, we can see that because we notice that a lot of persons of our color, they were, as we would say in Sync, it's muching up under the president.
Yes.
And now he has absolutely no use for them. He used them to get the votes, and now it's like, get the hands. He looks at them as nothing.
Another perfect example.
Yeah.
Because I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they asked me, how you think those blacks feel now? And I said, well, they only have themselves to blame.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look back at Trump's history in relation to blacks, I don't see why blacks.
I never understood.
Be different.
Look at those 5 innocent young gentlemen he put in prison for so long. And if he had his way, if he was at the helm of justice, they would have never been alive. He would have probably executed them without even giving them a fair trial.
And even to today, he has never apologized as far as I
No.
know.
But do you see, he said already, he can commit crime and get away with it. It's been proven. It looks like he's going to get away with whatever he chooses to do. That's why I love the fact that the main governor stood up to him, and being a woman as well. Because I don't condone gentlemen who want to be like me and want to compete in my sports. That's unfair. You're stronger than me. I don't condone that. But there are ways and means to speak to people and get people to understand what you're trying to put across and work with people. But you're not going to say, oh, you're not going to get funding and you're not going to be elected again. You're bullying someone. And he, to me, in his entire life, even on his reality show that he had, The Apprentice, he bullied people and he think he could have treated people a type of way. And I don't know, even Omarosa that backed him diligently in his first, the first time he was elected president, now she's singing a different tune.
That is Trump. It is who he is. He will never. You know what was really, for me, pathetic and showed that this man doesn't seem to understand he is the leader of the quote unquote most powerful nation
in the world.
When his last resort was, oh, and see how far that will get you, because I don't think you'll be elected or something like that, to the effect. Some remark that he could have left out. You understand? He could have just said, because I tell you this, I don't go. I don't personally, individually like Trump. Some of what he's doing, I agree with. Like for instance, saying that when children are born, assign a gender.
Okay, I agree with that too.
Yes,
okay.
because this has been causing problems
Yeah.
where male are saying, well, I'm a woman, and next thing you know, they compete with women and mash their skulls in and do all kind of heinous things. So there are few things, very, very few. And that is one of the reasons why, again, Trump got into the position where he is, because let's put it this way. Let's use the Caribbean as an example. A lot of our leaders over the years have left so much to be desired. People get desperate and they see somebody and they grasp that person and they don't know the intentions of that person.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if our leaders today will do the things, we know you're human, you're not perfect.
Exactly.
But try to give us an impression like you're trying.
Yeah.
You understand? And if we get that, then we wouldn't have this hopeless, like we don't know where we're going, because our leaders seem to, when they get into positions of authority, they forget.
Yeah, they change their minds.
Yes.
Because it always baffles me that me and you, and we're going to use ourselves as an example and not them, on the outside, we might see a couple fighting and say, oh, well, they could do this, and they could do that, and they could do this to improve, right? But when we get into their position, we now understand, oh, this is what was really happening. How do I deal with this? But then you don't come back and tell me, okay, I'm doing this and it's working. You're just there. So and this is what changes people's minds. And I think now that most constituents and most voters understand that they have the power, they're willing to change the change.
Yes.
Because I think with America, as we said, the supposed greatest nation in the world, I think a lot of people got fed up of the narrative of pushing especially the gender stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people were
Yes.
fed up with that.
Yes. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Because even here, we had a conversation. I don't know if, have you seen the latest passport form?
No.
There is male, female, and X.
Okay.
Yeah. We had a conversation about that.
That brings up another issue. Liberal and conservative.
Mm-hmm.
What we find is the liberals are becoming too liberals and the conservatives are too conservative. They're going to
No middle ground.
extremes, no middle ground.
Mm-hmm.
That is the problem.
Wow.
The liberals say, well, liberal mean you can do as you like, but you
Yeah.
can't do as you like in
No.
every instance. You can't just say, I'm this and I want that.
No.
It doesn't, the world doesn't work like that.
Yeah, there has to be
And
some
the
kind of
same with
order.
the conservatives.
Yeah, that's why there are rules.
Yeah.
That's why now, even in the US, they're saying, well, what happened to the Constitution? But the Constitution seems, with this administration, to be thrown out the door.
You know, as you speak, I as a black person have never felt that the Constitution included black people. Because when, with all the, you have the rights and this and that, they designated us as less than human.
Yeah.
So the laws were there, the Constitution was there, but it exempted us. So
For a
if-
very long time, I would say.
Yes, yes. And I don't know. It is not that we as a people, if you look back at the history of black Americans,
Mm-hmm.
you know how many times those black Americans have tried to elevate themselves, even go find places where they can make communities and this and that, and every time white America see that they're advancing,
Fight
they
down.
come in, they burn your place. So black Americans are in a position like of desperation, of almost hopelessness. you
But we have to
understand?
work together to end that desperation, because why 50 of us going to vote for Miss Kamala, that's of mixed race.
Mhm.
People would argue she's not black, but at the end of the day, there's some gene that says blackness
But-
resides in
but she
her.
looks
For
black.
those who want
She
to
looks black to me.
Exactly, for those who want to argue that she's not black. And then the next 60 of us are going to vote over on the other side. And I don't want to seem racist, but in order for us to achieve a common goal, what we did when we wanted President Obama, when we wanted the representation in the White House, that is what is needed to be done and not the infighting. So we see once again, as we say here, we sell out each other.
Yes.
We
yes.
sell out each other because now we say, no, we're going to have more money in our pockets. I can't wait to hear, as they said, the FAFO season, I can't wait to hear them saying what they expected from its previous administration is not the same in this one, especially with the blacks. When they say, oh, when Trump was in, we had more money in our pockets. Now with tariffs and all these things that he's trying to do, people are going to come back hard at him.
I am not a prophet. I don't know. I can't say. But I have a feeling that Trump is going to do himself in if he continues on this vein, because the white America won't tolerate him
Doing nonsense. Even some of his congressional
Indefinitely.
members are at his throat.
Yeah,
right now.
I feel that him, and then with Elon Musk again,
Jesus.
that is making it
The
worse.
government leader that wasn't elected.
You understand? So, like I said, I can't say it's cemented that, but for the way he's going, I heard a European leader say recently, if Trump continues in this vein, we, the rest of the world, are going to give him what he wants, complete isolation.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Yeah.
he has got to be careful.
Yeah, that's why when I was looking at the places that banned them from coming, they said it's to prevent espionage, it's to prevent them meddling in their domestic affairs, and a whole host of other things were listed to say why is it they don't want them in their countries. And as I said, as you said, Trump will be his own undoing. But I don't know. Do you ever watch The Simpsons or
You mean
the cartoon?
No, no.
The last thing they spoke about was a big outbreak in a water park. And I think it was Homer. His entire body was covered in red spots. And you know there has been an outbreak of measles in the U.S. And it says there was a story here that says first measles death is reported in West Texas outbreak that infected more than 120 people. And I just think their predictions are just too on. I see it. I went and researched, and I researched what are red spots on the bodies, and I saw it was measles, and now I'm seeing this story, and this story is from yesterday, and it said a person who was hospitalized has died from measles in West Texas, the first death in an outbreak.
And
that
this
began.
and this is in the United States.
This
of
is in the
America.
U.S., the great nation. I just hope we don't experience any other pandemics right now, because we're just catching ourselves
I do hope not.
5 years later from COVID 2020. And again, look at this greed again. U.S. strikes a deal with Ukraine that includes access to its rare earth minerals, officials say.
Yes, that Trump is gonna love that. He's been squeezing, what's his name? Lewinsky.
You mean Zelensky?
Zelensky.
Poor guy.
And Zelensky finds himself in a very, very
Ticklish
ticklish
situation.
situation. And I heard Trump on the news yesterday, and he was saying, well, and even our news this morning, he was saying, well, Zelensky's going to come and he's going to sign this deal, and it's going to be good for them too,
Just like how he wanted to build the oasis, we're cleaning up the Gaza, as he said, and the Israeli prime minister is looking at him like, man, what you talking about? If that's our plan, you're trying to steal. You didn't see that news conference where he was saying he was going to make the Gaza into an oasis, being his true real to self?
Yes. But where I'm kind of like, you mean Netanyahu was?
Yes, how Netanyahu looked at him like, what are you talking about, Willis? Like,
Well,
that's
maybe-
my plan.
Oh, well, but now you find Netanyahu.
Netanyahu, yeah, he has a hard name.
He is. This is my feeling. I believe that they're going to try their best to restart that war, because they now feel that Trump is in their corner with the statements that he made.
You mean Trump is going to help them?
No, I mean the Israeli Prime Minister is going to do his best, because if you follow Trump's line of reasoning, he's not going to do anything. Remember, he said if he had his way, he'd just go in and wipe them out.
Yeah, clean
So-
up the
so-
place and turn it into an oasis.
So Zelensky is thinking, and a lot of the individuals in his government, his cabinet, they are feeling that Trump is giving them, in a sort of a coded language, the go to do what you want to do, and then we'll remember at the end of when he first said that he was going to take over. When he got the lashback, he said Israel is going to hand it over to him. How does Israel have the authority to hand
Well,
it
Israel's
over?
probably thinking the same thing. We can, since it's infighting for land and resources and whatever, Israel's probably thinking the same thing. We can drive them out, clean it up, and make it into ours. So with him
That's what
saying
I'm
that,
saying.
he had the prime minister, the Israeli prime minister, looking at him like, "What are you saying, there, guy? What's wrong with you? That's my plan. this is just me saying this, but
Yes.
that's how he looked at him."
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
take a bit of a break,
Okay.
and we'll be right back.
All right, no problem.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9 Win FM.
It's the start of the week. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for Unfiltered. Join Azar Gums, lawyer and deputy leader of the People's Action Movement, for raw and unfiltered political analysis of the current events in St. Kitts and Nevis. Tune in every Sunday evening from 7:30 p.m. on Win FM. Join Azar Gums as he breaks the mantle and cuts through the unfiltered political noise to bring you the facts. Unfiltered every Sunday evening on Win FM 98.9.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
Okay, and we are back on Island Tea. And as we were chopping up stories, and we're not picking on anyone, folks. We really are not. But on the regional scene, I see, and I know we normally say that our officers are there to protect, to serve. Let me change it, to serve and protect, and be the best individuals they can be. But at the end of the day, we are all human, regardless of the position we hold in society or throughout our lifetime. We will have errors, we will be tempted to do wrong things, but it is up to us to maintain our dignity, or upstanding in
morals,
or
values.
Thank you, or upstanding morals and values in society. And I got this story from Loop News, and it says, St. Lucian police officer remanded to prison in case of missing M16. Now, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And we have noticed, even in our own little federation, we've had a series where individuals that we expect to uphold certain morals and values are being named in things that we don't expect them to be named in. So, for anyone that wish to weigh in, what can we say about this?
Well, as you said, we're human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what institution is formed, and no matter how you want to say you are trying to follow the letter of the law and the moral standards and values that we would like to see upheld, there are always bad apples in every bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope that there are few. I feel that that the majority are good people,
Mm-hmm.
because when we walk around, we see the police officers, and for the most part, they are not standoffish.
Mm-hmm.
They would sometimes they would even say hi to you without you saying hi before you say hi to them, or they nod their heads or something like that. And we see them; they live among us.
Mm-hmm.
They are our neighbors, and we
Mhm.
know them, and we don't have a problem, with those that we know and we see are living. But like I said, there, and like you said also, we are human, and
Yep.
and not everyone is able to resist the temptation of doing bad sometimes. When I was young, I was a juvenile delinquent.
I would never believe that.
I got in all sorts of trouble,
Okay.
and I had to make the decision to make a change because,
Mhm.
everyone felt I was on a downward
Good.
trajectory,
Spiral, yeah.
and people even went so far as to say, well, he's only going to end up one way, and that's either in prison
Mm-hmm.
or dead. And I had to sit down and say to myself, look, who controls my life?
Mm-hmm.
Me.
Yeah, exactly.
And apart from that, I also knew that I couldn't keep doing negative things and not get caught at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided you better get out while you're able to, So I said all that to say people go through changes, but when you are in certain positions, we expect different of you. This is not like when I was young and subjected idle. What they say, the devil find work for idle hands. But now you for instance, you're given a job as a bank teller. No one expects that you're going to be thieving the money, because your job entails that you uphold certain values and you make sure you regard the bank's assets. You understand? So that is it. So like I said, I think for the most part our law enforcement is, the majority are good people, but the law enforcement and whatever other institution must always be looking out for the bad ones, because one or two bad ones can tarnish the whole institution, can make people look at even the good ones in a kind of a funny way. Yeah.
No. Yeah. As a kid growing up, I wasn't too. They weren't on my famous list. I saw one incident and I lost all hope in them. And it was where they were literally beating a drunk individual to a pulp. They knocked out 2 of his teeth.
Wow.
His mouth was full of blood. He can hardly stand, and I'm like, what are you doing?
And
The
they were
man's
still
drunk.
beating
Yes,
him?
even if he's behaving bad, he's drunk. He can't help himself.
Yes.
How many times are you going to watch him fall? How much more pain are you going to inflict on him? And from that moment, I just lost all hope in everyone. My husband always say, don't say that. I'd be like, nah. They take advantage of their power sometime. And
Again, this is where leadership comes in. If you send out a contingent and there are 5 people and there's a leader there who has moral values, this should not happen. But when you have a leader who, for instance, I am the leader, there are 4 others, and one of them kicks the man. Instead of me coming in and saying, look,
none of that.
I watch for a while, and next thing a second one comes in and he throws a punch, and next thing you know, everybody gets in a frenzy like feeding sharks, and before you know it, I'm punching and kicking too. You understand what I'm saying? But if I was, as a leader, you need to stem it from the get-go.
Yeah, cut
from
it
the
off.
from the time you come around, you can look at the others, and you can see that some of them are anxious to do things. One might be boiler, and you say, look.
Because of the individuals too sometimes, and I know we have indifferent people. I don't like to call them that. I know we have indifferent people. But if we deal with indifferent people in a type of way, I think we can get those people to change their minds. We know some people are set in their ways, as we like to say locally.
Yes, we
But
have
I
a caller.
think if we can...
We
We have a caller?
Yeah.
Okay, caller, good morning. You're live on Island T. How are you doing today?
Good morning, Kortensia.
Hi, hon. I missed you. How are you?
I'm all right. Good morning, Quinn.
Good day.
You know, Kortensia, you're so right. I believe police. Quinn,
Yes.
he said good morning.
Good day. That's your husband?
Yes.
Yes,
Quinn,
okay.
I know you're good. We run Connery.
Well, I know him too, so yes. It brings me back to what I was just saying about me being bad, and so he would know that foremost, because he's a Connery man, you know what I'm saying? So.
Quinn, he got his first personal call from you.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
No, Kortensia, what you were saying about the police, they do take advantage of the authority, the power that they have.
Yeah.
And you know, as a kid growing up, I hated police, because why I hated police? My grandmother, back then, they used to call police to beat their kids.
Yeah.
My grandmother was drunk and she called police, and police beat up on my little brother, and from that to this day, I don't like police.
I try not to use that word, but I share in your sentiments. That is exactly how I feel.
I didn't.
From that day to even to now, I don't like police. I have a thing against police.
I don't mess with
like
them. Nope.
Me either. I got pulled over up here in Connecticut by a police. I had on my turn signal and everything, so I wonder why he pulled me over. And he come and he start talking to me. So he's like, why are you acting so nervous? I said, let me tell you something. I don't like police and I don't like having a dealing with you.
Yeah.
Number one, I'm black and I live in a country where police shoot people. Okay?
Exactly.
That makes it even worse.
Yes.
I don't like police. I don't like having a dealing with you guys. So why are you pulling me over? Okay, my license plate, but my husband did not put the license plate on the back of the car.
Oh.
That's why he pulled me over.
Okay.
But because of my grandmother, what she did, she
Yeah.
made me despise police.
Yes, yes. Our life experiences shape how
Who
we
we
live.
who we become, yeah.
Yeah.
It does.
Exactly. So to this day, I just don't, there's just something inside of me that I don't want to have no dealing with police.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good to hear your voice, man.
All right.
Yes.
Say hi to Abby for us.
Yes, yes.
Where is Jamster?
Well, I can't give you an answer. I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, Cleo. Thanks for your contribution as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's normally the case, you know, because even everybody could have, George Floyd could have been alive today, and those officers could have just gotten disciplined for kneeling on him.
Yes.
But when you're going to kneel on somebody's neck and they're begging you to come off,
That
when
is-
they're bigger than all four of you and they can
Yes.
literally move their body and
Yes.
ask God to
Yes.
muster the strength like Samson and throw you off, but they remain calm and they're begging you, just come off my neck. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And you stay there, and then it's just, after that, it's just problems after problems with the officers in the U.S. and people that of our color are afraid of being stopped. And here, it's just our color, basically.
Yes.
And then we just treat people like, one time I see they're doing a shakedown on an indifferent guy on, what is it? You know where the buses used to park by the 7-day?
Yes.
And as you said, they were taking turns hitting him. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Only because, you know. Because I just felt, if I could, I would have helped the guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's 3 against 1. Oh gosh, you don't have him in handcuffs. He can't do anything. And you're hitting him with your knee in his back. And all. That's a human being. Where does the compassion and the caring comes in?
Again, this is, the high command needs to designate leaders who they know when they go out in certain instances, they will take control and quell things. Because, for instance, what you just said, it brought something to my mind. Because we are human beings, if when we are put in certain positions, we must understand that, for instance, let's say one of those soldiers got in his love relationship, his woman bite him, as we just say, bite him and let's say it was a raster, and this individual happened to be a raster.
Yeah, he might take it up
He
more.
would, from the time he see that, but if you are mature and you have proper leadership, you stem it, you understand?
Yeah.
But if you don't have proper leadership and you don't understand the designates of your job, your passion takes over.
Because even at home, if we have proper leadership, it shows when we go outside.
Yes.
Because we won't be kids that want everything on the shelf in the supermarket. We won't be the kid or the child that speak back to its parents. Yeah, so everything really starts from the top.
I'm glad you brought up that, because I remember some years ago, a lot of years ago, I went into a business place and I saw this little boy, and he was just picking up stuff, and he had so much in his arms, to his bosom, and he's picking up, and there's this grown big man, and so far as the young boy picks up stuff, the man is trying to take them, and the little boy is fighting, and grabbing the father, and the man was at that time the political party that was in power here in St. Kitts. He was a minister. And I watched this thing for a while, and then because since I've gotten older, I've gotten more mild, but when I was young, I said to him, that is your son, a little boy, you can't control him, but you're the leader of a country trying to dictate how we should. You understand what I'm saying? And it goes back to what you're saying. if when you are at home, you instill in the child these values, he will not go out. But when you don't do it and he go out, he will embarrass you because it is the norm for him.
Yeah. He is not accustomed to discipline.
Yes, we have another caller.
Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Good morning, Kortensia.
Hi, Mr. McMahon. How are
Yeah,
you?
good day, Mr. McMahon.
I listened to you, and others. Well, basically express reservations about the police. It's like one of those things where, let's say, like teachers, like nurses, you always express some kind of reservation about the service, but we know that we can't do without them.
Well, I did say, and let me say again, I think for the most part that the police, the majority are good people. I said that, I reiterated that. But I agreed with Kortensia that there are a few bad apples, very few. And the one and the twos can put a bad, light on the whole.
On the whole set, yeah.
Yes. So we're not here maligning the police, and because you're right,
I know
we
it's
can't.
not the intention,
Yeah, we
but,
can't do without them.
people out there who might take it the wrong way.
Well, those are.
And remember too, you can say the same thing about any profession. As a matter of fact,
And I did say
I guess
that.
there are good doctors and bad
Yeah, we
doctors,
have bad
and
ones.
Yes.
great lawyers and bad lawyers,
Yes.
and good engineers and bad engineers.
Yeah, we did mention it.
So
We
what
did
I'm saying is, what I'm saying is,
We did
while
say.
we should agree that we don't let the one or two bad apples spoil the whole bunch.
Yes.
Okay, but I do understand the reservations. I mean, one of the things that has been pretty much standard over the years is that, how should I put it delicately? The best and the brightest do not normally end up in the police force.
That is a point.
Just judging from the initial qualifications for entry.
And why do you
Okay.
think that? Why do you think that is the case, scholar?
It has a lot to do with pay, I would think.
Okay.
I remember, for instance, when I was at college, in the early days when I was at college here, at CSBC, we would train people in all kinds of disciplines, but they ended up in the police force. Now, that might have been due to the fact that they couldn't get jobs in the discipline that they were trained, but it was more likely that at that time the police force paid more. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, it's not the same now.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that to say it is probably a result of the remuneration that police officers get.
Yes.
And two, one of the things about the police force is that you have people who are imbued with power that is above and beyond what the normal citizen would have.
Yes.
And not everybody can really
Control
be
and have the
judicious
responsibility.
with that
Yes.
power.
Yes.
Okay?
You're
Simply
right.
because
You're
you
right.
have the power to do something doesn't mean that you should do it.
Yes.
Exactly.
You have
Yes.
to exercise good judgment. You have to exercise control, and that is not always a feature of some police officers.
Yes.
Okay, but generally speaking, since we can't do without them, the best thing to do is try and have this. Well, I think you mentioned it. You must have good leadership,
Yes. Yes.
right? And you must also have good training, and there should be a culture in the organization that gives the rest of the society confidence that they will be treated fairly. People will do their jobs properly, and we'll all benefit. But the bottom line is, we need them. We can't dare to think of what would happen if, for instance, all of them went on strike.
Yes.
We just have to make sure that the organization have the proper controls and so on that would catch these bad eggs and give the society confidence in that they're doing the job properly. Okay.
Before we go to, thank you for your contribution, Mr. McMahon. But before we go to a break, I see there is a local story here, and it is from St. Nevis Times, and it says, power shake-up and puzzling political moves in PAM, Deputy Leader Azad Gum shocking removal as Constituency 4 Chairman sparks questions. And I also see there may have been a cabinet shake-up in Barbados, but that's a story we'll probably have to get to tomorrow. I'm going to read a little bit of this story concerning the shake-up in the PAM organization, and it says, in a shocking and perplexing turn of events, the People's Action Movement PAM Constituency 4 group has removed the party's deputy leader, Attorney Azad Gums, from his role as constituency chairman. The move has left political observers and party supporters stunned, as Gums is widely regarded as PAM's most dynamic and visible figure. Inside sources reveal that a coordinated effort from within the Constituency 4 group led to the election of a new executive, resulting in Gums' abrupt removal. However, no official statement has been issued by Gums regarding the shake-up. Gums' removal raises serious questions about internal party dynamics and the motivation behind this dramatic decision. Many party faithful and political analysts view him as not just a potential future leader of PAM, but someone who could effectively lead the party right now, injecting much-needed energy and vision. His removal as chairman is being seen as a deliberate attempt to undermine his rising influence within the party. The decision to remove Gums comes at a time when PAM is seeking to regain political momentum, given his high-profile presence and unwavering commitment. Sidelining him from a leadership position in his own constituency is being perceived as a strategic misstep, potentially deepening divisions within the party ranks.
This is news to me. This is the first time being made aware of it. There's not much I can say. I will say this, though, that it may be shocking to us, but within the party, they know what's happening.
Yeah.
And let me give you a scenario. Let's say that the party sees something that they don't like, and they spoke to him, and the party decided it is better to make this move now rather than wait closer to the election period. It gives us time to revamp. It is a shocking move, but like I said, internally they know what's going on, and maybe over time it will come out. We will not speculate.
Yeah, exactly. We can't say we don't know. We will have to get it from the horse's mouth, because as they say, as speculation mounts, all eyes are on Gums' next move and how is this unexpected shape-up.
That is a shocking move.
Yeah, shake-up will impact PAM's leadership landscape moving forward. Do you think because there were walkthroughs in my community from the PLP party, do you think that the now administration, which is the Labour government, do you think in the next election they will have the competition, or do you think that these two other political parties will be ready to, how should I put it, not even defend, will be ready to fight for government?
Yes.
Do you think they're ready?
Well, at this present moment, I will say I don't think they are. But I also feel that whatever is happening with this move, something internally happened. I don't think it is just about jealousy of his rising. I think it's something
bigger than that.
But we don't know what it is.
Yeah, we really don't know.
And I think that the party made the decision, let's make this move now.
Yeah.
And it gives us time to
re-energize.
Yes, to some extent, though, they're going to have to, because it reminds me of when Pam was in power and the Prime Minister got rid of a particular individual in constituency one and what he did to the party.
Yeah.
But they were in power at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But these are now, this party is transitioning, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Building for the better.
yes, and my only logical assumption is, because if I was in there and so, depending on what happened, I feel it's better to take the bull by the horns, and then, but they're going to have to make some statement along the way, and even if they don't come out completely, they're going to have to find a way to appease the public's inquisitive ear, you know, because people are going to be wondering why.
Yeah,
So,
because there's one comment that's under this. It says, I sat down with my nutmeg and cinnamon coconut milk hot chocolate when it popped up on my device. But what does it really mean? It has only left me with more questions. These questions need to be answered quickly because the party's optics aren't looking great. And Azad has been doing an excellent job in public relations, media, and supporting the leader. So what is this shakeup? So people have questions and they're expecting answers.
and that is expected, that people are going to have questions. So they're going to have to come up with some answers. We have another phone call.
Okay. Caller, good morning. You're live on Island T.
Yes, Megan. I, for one, kind of had it with the political machinations of parties, right? I don't think these kinds of goings on are good for democracy of our country or for the citizenry at large. Backroom deals and all kinds of subterfuge, just not good. Okay, it does not give the impression that if you get into office, you're going to govern in an open and transparent way. Okay? People might regard them as necessary for party functioning, but in all honesty, it just leads to the kind of confusion and speculation and so on that you are currently engaged in. Okay? And it does not help the political discourse, I don't think. Okay, we have an explosion of parties, so to speak, that we're not accustomed to. It was very nice when people just had a choice. There was a choice between one party or the next, and things were simpler back then.
Yeah.
Now it's all kind of permutations and combinations, and we don't know what's going to happen. Even in the governing party right now, there's all kind of speculation as to factionalization and so on, which is not good. It does not suggest that next election things are going to be clear-cut and the people will have a choice in the democracy. What it sounds like is going to be happening, it's almost like it's going to be every man for himself.
Yep.
Okay? And the fallout after the election is what's going to actually determine what our governance and so on is going to look like. And I don't think that's good. All right? People want a clear choice, clear programs. You can look at the difference between the programs that the parties are offering and say, well, this will be better for me, and make an informed choice as to who you want to lead. But right now, you don't get that impression from any of the parties. It's very much an individualistic kind of thing. And I'm not so sure in the end that's going to turn out to be what's good for the country.
Well,
There are too many
I agree with you on that.
ups and downs, and maybe if our constitution and electoral reform that I would have thought would have been given priority, nobody's taking that on.
Yeah.
And so we have all these things. We have the relations between St. Kitts and Nevis. Too many moving parts.
Yes.
I'm not wishing it, but it sounds as if we were heading for some kind of confusion next election. And I think that's unfortunate. I really wish between now and then things will pan out, things will settle down.
I too hope so.
Yeah, people given a choice, a clear choice.
Clear choice,
on the programs, what is supposed to happen, who we want to lead them. Because that's the other thing. We don't have a real good list of leaders to choose from, right? Looking forward, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
We don't see anybody emerging who is strong leadership skills, decisive, visionary, those kinds of things, committed.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. And so, we got a lot of work to do, I think. And I really hope it's not like what has happened in the past, where it's politics as usual. And so we expect the same kind of machinations and dirty politics and all the bad things that come with that. Yeah. We really need something new and dynamic and something that we can trust. Not these machinations and wheeling and dealing behind the scene. Yeah. Some people regard that as good politics. I don't think it is. Okay?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let's hope.
Well, let's hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for your contribution as usual. And folks, this is where I have to take my leave, but I will be in tomorrow. So I'll leave it up to Mr. Quilly from here as we take a break. And I want to leave you with this. Cain killed his brother and still did not become the accepted one. Pulling people down will never raise you up. All right.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Step into the spotlight with VIP Cash. This new $20 scratch game offers 30 chances to win up to $200,000. Also, enter the promotion with one non-winning ticket for a chance to win $400 in free groceries. Visit thecaribbeanlottery.com for details. VIP Cash, where every player is a star. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 and over to play. Get active! Kickstart your health and wellness journey with the TDC Home and Building Depot in the month of February. Enjoy a huge 20% discount off blenders and juicers for your healthy smoothies, air fryers for guilt-free crispy goodness, yoga mats for your daily stretch and flex, exercise equipment, and more to keep you moving. Don't wait, get active and save big at the TDC Home and Building Depot. Visit us today and take the first step towards a healthier you. TDC Home and Building Depot, where quality meets savings. Terms and conditions apply. See stores for details. TDC, together we succeed.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on WINNmedia 98.9.
And I'm back with you, without Kortensia this time, but I'll see if I can bring it along. You're listening to Island Tea, and the time is approximately 6 minutes after the 9 o'clock hour. And continuing in the vein that we left off before that bit of a commercial break, yes, we are left in a bit of a quandary as to how the next election will play out. And I agree with the last caller that those are things that we don't need. We need, as an electorate, to be able to look at the different factions and make a decision. Well, these are the shortcomings here, and those are the advances there, and I think that I would make this decision here. But as things are presently, we don't seem to have that option, and as he said, let's hope that between now and by the time the next election rolls around, that we are in a position to make a clear choice. But that brings me back to what we stated earlier, that a lot of the politicians, not only in the region but around the world, have taken to the point where it's politics as usual, and I get in and I go through the machinations, and when it's coming up close to the election period, then I try to see if I can appease certain things and make it into being reelected, and then I go back to the same norms. And those are the things that put people in a position where they wind up making desperate decisions and electing individuals who are not fit for the job of leading a country or otherwise. So I don't know, but to me that is a rather shocking bit of information as it relates to the PAM party, and something must be going on where they decided to do this knowing that they would get a sort of a raised eyebrow, and if they don't come and sooner than later make the public aware to some extent of why, then it's not going to be good for them in the future. So I don't know. Let me see if I saw an article here. Let me see if I can find it. In relation to Trump and his offer of US $5 million for a visa, some sort of. President Donald Trump said that he plans to offer a gold card visa with a path to citizenship for $5 million, replacing a 35-year-old visa for investors. They'll be wealthy and they'll be successful and they'll be spending a lot of money and paying a lot of taxes and employing a lot of people, and we think it's going to be extensively successful, Trump said Tuesday in the Oval Office. Commerce Secretary Howard Lipstick said the Trump Gold Card would replace EB-5 visa in 2 weeks. The EB-5 5s were created by Congress in 1990 to generate foreign investment and are available to people who spend about $1 million on a company that employs at least 10 people. Lutrix said the gold card, actually a green card or permanent legal residency, would raise the price of admission for investors and do away with fraud and the nonsense that he said characterized the EB-5's program. Like other green cards, it would include a path to citizenship. About 6,000 people obtained investor visas in a 12-month period ending September the 30th, 2022, according to the Homeland Security Department's most recent yearbook of immigration statistics. The Congressional Research Service reported in 2021 that EB-5's visa pose risk of fraud, including verification that fraud were obtained funds, that is, verification that funds were obtained legally or otherwise. investor visas are common around the world. Henry and Partners, an advisory firm, says more than 100 countries around the world offer gold visas to wealthy investors, including the United States, United Kingdom, Spain, Greece, Malta, Australia, Canada, and Italy. So I don't know, when it comes to Trump and what he's doing, and let's wait and see how these things will pan out in the long run. I'm going to take a bit of a commercial break, see if I can set up something here, and I'll be right back with you.
Let's stop child sexual abuse. The age of consent is 16, yet our 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, and 10-year-olds are becoming victims of sexual abuse and exploitation, which is being forced into sexual activity before they are old enough to decide. This causes mental, emotional, and physical harm to our children. Parents, it is your responsibility to protect and to educate your children. Develop a relationship of trust with your child. If they trust you, they will tell you. Child sexual abuse cannot be our norm. We must work together to correct this. Help us prevent, help us protect, help us prosecute. A message by the Department of Probation and Child Protection Services. Contact us at 467-1311 or 662-6833 for more information.
Do you want to know what's happening in sport? Tune in to On The Ball, a weekly talk show which is on WINFM 98.9 every Tuesday from 7 to 9 p.m. with me, your host, Troy Biff Mills. We will keep you on the ball with our variety of guests and of course your calls, discussing the facts and the stats and sharing your opinions. Get on the ball and stay on the ball by tuning into On The Ball with Troy Biff Mills on WINFM 98.9 every Tuesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. and also on Facebook and YouTube. Be on the ball.
Let's Get Real on WinFM. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's Get Real, Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real Talk with Lavi covers all. Let's Get Real, Wednesday nights at 8 on WinFM.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on WINNMedia 98.9.
Adventures in history.
Did you know that the Slave Rebellion of 1639 was the first such revolt in the English and French Caribbean? It started in November of that year when a group of 60 African slaves and their women and children left a plantation in Capister and fled to the mountains. French troops penetrated the difficult terrain and subdued the group, but one of the leaders managed to hold out a little longer and became a legend as his contemporaries thought he was protected by supernatural forces. He was eventually killed in a raid.
Adventures in history.
Tune in to Creative Voices, the ultimate radio call-in program where innovation meets inspiration. Join me, Dr. Sarah Owen, as I welcome brilliant Caribbean creatives and innovators for engaging sessions that promise to spark your creativity. Don't miss this unique opportunity to interact with our guests, ask your burning questions, and gain insights that could elevate your own creative endeavors. Tune in every other Friday from 10 a.m. to midday. Get inspired. Let your voice be heard. Mark your calendars and prepare to embark on a journey of creativity and innovation with Creative Voices.
Unlock the secrets to a healthier you. Join Dr. Natalie Osborne every Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. on WINFM 98.9 for Weekly Dose. During this 30-minute health discussion, we aim to educate and empower our listeners on the prevention of diseases, early diagnosis, and timely intervention. Don't miss out on this informative health talk where we teach you to live your best life. Weekly Dose, Tuesdays on WINFM 98.9.
Adventures in history.
Robert Douglas of St. Kitts is known as the father of black professional basketball. Douglas left St. Kitts in 1901. In the 1920s, he organized a team called the Spartan Braves, who became the New York Renaissance Big Five, the first black salary professional basketball team. They were the premier Afro-American team of the 1920s and 1930s. In one remarkable 86-day stretch during the 1932-33 season, the Wrens won 88 games straight. Douglas and his team were inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Adventures in history.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea, only on Win Media 98.9.
And we're back with you, and I think and I hope I still have that caller on the line.
Yes, yes, I was wondering what's going on.
Yes, I realized and I put you on hold there because I was doing some other things.
All right.
Good day.
Anyway, so am I on?
Yes, you're live.
Oh, good morning, Quintessential, good morning, Jamster, good morning, Kortensia, good morning, all the old island people.
Yes.
Now, let me first start by thanking the Rastafarian group that came yesterday. Ras Aya, my family husband, and another one from Sandy Point, I think Luther, the same name is.
Yes.
Yes, they came by here to wish me happy African Conscious Day or month.
Yes.
And they brought me a package from which I was able to share.
Okay.
So I want to thank them, And then they chanted Psalm 2, which is a psalm I like,
Yes.
So thank you very much. I learned that Washington Archibald School, the children are expected to be African way. You know anything about that?
No, that's news to me.
Yes. Whatever kind they can, or if they can't find any appropriate thing, then they wear the uniform.
Oh.
Now I have a question. I heard Dr. Ju advertising this computer training course. He said for 100 students.
Yes.
What do you know about it?
Like, I don't know much about. As a matter of fact, that's the first I'm hearing about it. You see, I'm.
There's a poster out. I think it's it.
My mind is caught up in so many different things presently, because even though you might hear me on the radio, I'm actually a technical person, an engineer. So I have, so I don't get the time to dabble into a lot of things.
You have to do the engineering and the.
Yeah. So that is why whenever I'm so grateful whenever Kortensia is here, because whenever she's here, I told her, you lead and I will follow. Okay? Mm-hmm. Yes.
She's doing a good job too.
She definitely is.
Now, why I asked, I heard somebody was talking about this program. The Dr. Ju said they would train the young people or the students, and at the end of the 6 months, I think it's a 6 months course.
Yes.
They would be able to get employment.
And certified.
Right.
Yes. Oh, well, I am of faith to some. I did hear that. Yes.
Now, I was quite impressed with that statement until I heard them talking about the fine print at the bottom of the advertisement.
Ah.
Where the requirements are that you must be unemployed. suppose because if you're going to do for 6 months,
Yes.
and you must be 18 and over. But then they said that those who are successful are invited to go to the development bank to get a loan of $10,000, and it sounds like they said the PM said they would match it.
Yes.
Right? Now, if you're unemployed, where are you going to get the money from?
That is a good question.
You understand? And then I was listening to Azad. I heard a bit of it. I didn't hear all. I even asked my good friend Edinburgh. He said he had to check it out. Because I'm saying if they're unemployed and they're young adults, you put in they're not going to university. And he was even revealing that the company that they're using is somebody who, when they got the Shark Tank story, the person who just is a budding entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You can check it out for yourself. So he was indicating or suggesting that maybe that is one way of financing the person's venture. But my big concern really is the development bank, which we are talking about. If you're not employed and you're going to take up this $10,000 loan, you may or you may not be hired.
Yes, that's true.
Because your placement depends on your performance. So I would like somebody who know, maybe Mr. McMahon, I don't know if he knows about it. He could explain it to me. Right now I can't see anymore. What exactly are the prints on the advertisement paper, whatever? Is that true? You have to ask everything, eh?
Yes.
Because, people put out things and then you swallow it just like how you do with Azad. Until you hear from Azad, you don't know. You know, so, as you said, sometimes you ask questions to get information.
Yes.
Because I want to know, is that true? The company that they are claiming to work for is a startup, not an established, So that is it. Now tomorrow supposed to be, I heard you and Greg yesterday.
Yes.
Good morning, Greg. Good morning, Greg. You must give me a call. My number is 465-3645. I have to get somebody to put your name on my phone. WhatsApp, so I could call the WhatsApp. But once you're not in the WhatsApp contact list, you don't like to call numbers that are not listed. So I want to talk to you. Now, tomorrow is supposed to be the day of prayer for the country. Are you aware of it?
Kind of. Sylvian, I don't get myself too involved.
Aware means you heard about it.
Yes.
You don't mean you participated.
Yes. I've heard about it.
You don't what?
I've heard about it.
Well, I would encourage people to participate, but know one thing for sure. We got to repent. Repent means to turn away from, that's what repent means. Repent means say you're sorry alone. If you say you're sorry and you don't change, you have not repented. We have a lot of things in this country to repent of, Just as Ting was saying, when you listen to the workings of the Trump election, some people repenting. You wake up and you get a note, an email from Elon Musk. Right, what you do yesterday, or you're fired. When things become personal, is when we study it. You know that?
Yes.
Oh, we're gonna deport so and so and so and so, and next thing you know, somebody put you in it.
Yeah. Sylvine,
Hello?
let me ask you a question because
Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
because I respect you as I look up to you, and I respect your opinion. As long as so far since Trump has been the president of the United States and the things that he's doing, how do you think it is going to play out in terms of the American public? Because internally, I saw a clip where even some of the individuals from his cabinet, when they go to their constituents are going crazy on them.
You gotta be fired. It's bread and butter it come down to now, you know.
Yeah.
It's so good to say, oh, you'll be trying to clean up the waste and the excess. And then it was if members of the family, the same family, are in the same department or agency, you know. Everybody home. I recall when I was in Jamaica in the 80s, when they went on the IMF program, and they were sending home people. Whole household was sent home, you know. And then they said, well, they weren't aware of it because, you know, you could be in agriculture, you could be in education. So when they were cutting, whole household were on the breadline. So that's what is happening. People don't mind other people getting turned away as long as not them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's how we are, eh?
Yes.
And this idea of U.S. aid, and they're going to do the care, the Obamacare, they call it.
Yes.
Medicare. And you and your family depending on it. It's different to jump up and trump.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was saying. I listen to them, you know, by the way. I listen to C-SPAN radio on my TV.
Yes.
And tune in. I listen a lot to them. I like to hear the conversation. And yesterday, even the one with the measles, the man, they're supposed to be getting vaccination. He said, well, there's only one dead, you know. That's why he said only one person died. He has not offered anything. And it is becoming harder for the people in his cabinet to function.
Yes.
Because the people in their party or whoever voted expecting something different. And people say, well, you know, Trump mode always going.
Yeah.
But what you have now is Elon Musk running Trump.
Yeah.
You know, even yesterday, he was the first to speak and in the cabinet. You ever hear it was?
That is what I mean. How long?
He has no constituency. He has no constituency, so he could say anything.
How long will the people? Let's look back. Let's watch and see how long the people, the American masses, will accept this way of governance before they start protesting and picketing and doing all sorts of.
But you see, they're caught in a trap, you know. Because you think, well, if you want us, then you want Camilla them.
Yeah.
So you either suck it up or you just change. But it's difficult. As I said, most people will ignore what he's saying because there are trials going on, the case is going to court. I mean, this man, like a dictator ruling the country on executive orders.
I saw a bit of news item on Fox. And you know Fox is...
Yeah, I don't play Fox too, you know, Fox News Radio.
Yes. You know Fox is pro-Trump. And
Trump, totally Trump.
Yeah. The way they were wailing into, like, they were making statements like, what's wrong with these people? Why are they doing this and just firing people willy-nilly? And I asked myself, I said, is this Fox? I couldn't believe.
You better believe. I will tell you, look, you know, I don't know if you're married or whatever.
No, I'm not.
Children.
I'm not. I have children.
You get to know that every man needs somebody. So when the prostate go bad or the disc go bad, or the back go out, or you're unable to work, you got somebody.
Yes,
Women are quite
I do have children. I have five. Three
so you have
boys.
5 chances to be married.
3 boys.
Let me continue. Now,
they're not
what
by
I'm
5
saying-
different women. They're by 2 women.
Right, so you have 2 chances to get married. And you still have another chance. Ask our leader, second chance. Anyway, what I am saying, they will say everything until the part that affect them personally is touched.
Yes.
Even here,
Yes.
you hear so get turned away. Oh, that suit him and whatever. And next thing when it happen in the family, they want you to go placard, sign petition, you know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So, but the 2016, I think is Senate election, right? There have been some election in 2016.
Mm.
You know that?
Sylvine, I do not have a monopoly on knowledge, you know, so.
No, you don't listen to it.
I'm learning.
But yes, there's going to be some changes. But you see what happened to the Democratic Party? That's why I told them I would not be voting. If I was an American, I wouldn't vote for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You over there. You know what they're talking about. And some of the issues are not strong. The one about the boys going in the girl bathroom, you could leave that alone, is it?
Yes.
Let them talk and you hush them out. And the homosexual take over the world. That you're going to hold a peace on, because they're now using the government to force all in Africa. You got to this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Against people's tradition and belief. So Elon Musk gone in like a vacuum cleaner, cleaning up everything. A lot of the aid and so we get for development, economic and so come to U.S. aid. A lot of training come to U.S. aid. When you're going shutting it down, you see that in some cases they got to back off.
Yes.
Because the reaction is beyond what they expect. Because at first they were saying, look, this is why the people vote for Mr. Trump. And they are shocked by the reaction. Even in their own party, you hear what happened yesterday? There's something they were trying to pass, or the budget thing. I think 5 of them were holding out. And Trump called them. And after Trump called them, they all voted for it. Now, what is that? That's why he bullied all of them, you know.
Yes. Well, he did that all during
before
his
the
campaign.
election when they were doing the primary.
Yes, he did that all
My
along.
Lord, and but he used the other tactic. He put them in the cabinet because they were already expressed their feelings, eh?
Yes.
None of them should think that Trump forgive them or excuse them. Like I was telling somebody, that's what governments do. When they can't fire you, they promote you. And they put you in a position where you either suck it up or go. So he has them in some funny compromising position, you know. Bully, and he trying to bully the world. But I don't tell somebody, Trump going to start the World War III.
Yeah.
Because everybody not going to bow in and give up.
I heard one of the leaders, one of the foreign leaders, she said in a statement that if Trump continues the way he's going, they're going to give him what he wants, and that is isolation of the United States of America.
Yeah, because he's acting as if America has everything the world needs. And, you know, the unfortunate thing is, there are many more countries who have a negative trade balance, you know, with America. They have us in the negative, and we import more from them. Man, you go all to the other parts of the world. Total, the difference in the trade. Just aggregate them and put them against America's exports. Swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And he's under the impression that people can't do it on American goods. So all he has to do is to threaten.
Yes.
They're talking about Apple. Apple standing next to it because Apple waiting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he's trying to. There are alternatives, you know. You see how the Chinese shock them.
Yeah, with the
AI.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, if they don't think that the other people planning for them, because they don't control the whole world, they wish they did.
Mm-hmm.
And he promised to tariff all who in BRICS. No, Russia, India, you know, after bees are with Russia. And that passport that he's trying to sell, he is targeting the Russian oligarchs, necessity, you know.
Yeah.
He says so when they're done to put him, we can't sell with this $250,000 thing. But he could offer a $5 million thing. Right? He's actually to be making more enemies for America than what they presently have.
Yes. I feel so too.
Yeah, I mean, you want to clean up gas and whatever. In a second, as reconstruct for them, you know. Or somebody must take them. Well, all he has to do to take them in, you know what I mean? Give them a visa and take them in. And I believe that the people have begun to fight back. When I hear all of this, playing this and playing that and bombing, I said, Lord Jesus, you see what he began in the country? Everybody not going to sit there and take it. So then he go to the Arab countries. A Muslim is a Muslim.
Yeah.
I don't think he understands that. So when you go and you threaten them too.
Do you think Trump takes the time to understand anything? I think
tell you all the man getting dementia.
He lives in his own world, it seems. You know.
No, he think he's still doing the movie, you know. You're fired and whatnot. He think he's confused. He's confused. Everybody not gonna bow, even the one with Ukraine. I mean, this man has no shame. That's why we got to be careful who we take aid from, you know. The man calls up to Russia, and he said, since his first thing, he has been talking to Russia all the time.
Well.
And he's the president, you know. He and Putin are friends. And he got enough. Ukraine caused it. Now, Ukraine invaded itself.
Mm-hmm.
And he now asking Ukraine, whatever Russia got, they must keep it. And the bloodshed and who killing who? Who is killing who? He make it sound like Ukraine is just killing up the Russian. Mr. Lord Jesus. That's why the Bible says, "Woe, causes the man to put
I am not
confidence in man."
I myself am not too sympathetic with Ukraine because when you look at what's been happening in Africa, what Trump is now trying to do with Ukraine has been going on in Africa for ages. And when I listen to the Europeans express, now they're saying things like Trump feels that this is a colonial period and you can just go in but they've been doing that to Africa all the time.
Because the experience, they know what it is all about. Because Trump making America the new imperial power, he's trying to do it.
Yeah, but
so they know what it is.
But it's happening. It's happening in Africa, and they're not saying they're exploiting, but they're saying that with
they want the monopoly.
Yes, you see, so.
That is how things going on.
The world is not being fair. We don't expect. Look, we as a people had better learn to unite before it's too late. See.
But you see, the trouble is we need good leaders.
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, we should unite and we should be one. What kind of leader are you? People must be able to look at your personal life.
Yes. I did
you
say
talk
that.
all the Pan-Africa, whatever, and then people look at you. How do you treat other black people in your sphere of influence in your country? Are you motivated? You know what I mean? Motivated.
Yes.
Do you have any enterprise that show that you could lead? You don't just say, well, I'm going to lead. And we must come together and shut them out and backing up Russia. I said, no. And if you're not for us, you're against us. Those are socialist, communist rhetoric.
But Sylvine,
those should not be said.
Sylvine, to some extent, I to say, because you can't be moving. Okay, you're an institution. The institution has an agenda, and the very individuals in the institution are fighting against the goals that you've set.
Well, that is it. You said the goals that you set, not the goals that we set.
Well.
That is the point.
Well, let me correct myself.
You can't get a few people.
I made a mistake.
Call them the head or whatever, and they make all the decisions.
I made a mistake there. So let me rephrase it. Not what we have decided. This is what we're going to do. A majority says yes, but there are others who are trying to undermine the cause. I don't take that statement, that the broad statement, if you're not for us, you're against us. I don't say it is entirely wrong.
But in my opinion, when you have people who have different ideas, the greater all ideas content, you can't come tell me, because even in those countries, that is where you have a lot of dissent. And you only open your mouth, they lock you up.
Well, I don't agree with that. But
I mean, how many people in Russia, even in Cuba? You know, I would have thought that Cuba would have done better. When they're having all of these outages and whatever, and people can't get food and whatever. There are other countries that they associate with. Well, Russia sends some afterwards. I think maybe China. You got to be able to work out strategies to help your people. Venezuela. You know what I mean? There are other countries that you have a relationship with.
But Sylvine.
But you're going to starve them into what? Submission?
Sylvine, this thing with Cuba. Cuba has. Do you think it's fair what the United States and those other European places are? Look where Cuba is situated, right here in the Caribbean, and because they are of a communist vein, it is. So just now you said people should have their own concepts and we respect it. But so a man says he's a communist and you feel that you isolate him, you put all kind of embargoes, that they can't get this, they can't get that.
I don't support that.
Well,
because even in the United Nations, it has been voted on, but then you have a country like America who have this veto.
Yes.
They should abolish this veto business.
That is it.
That is it, you know.
You
find, as America, they say America has no friends.
Yeah.
America only has interests. And the hurtful thing is that the Cubans, you know, up in Florida, who supporting it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Sylvine. Sylvine.
I like the idea of working together in cooperative.
Yes.
But we must have good leadership. Because you're talking about the parties. Most of them lack good leadership, you know.
Yes. Well, that is the key. That is the
good
main
leadership.
thing, yes.
People who are positive. People who could influence people for good. Not, this is why I say all in Africa don't support military rule. I just don't support it. If you do it, then you must arrange a date when you will have election.
Yes.
And if some of them in the army want to run, let them run.
Yeah.
But keeping people under the gun and calling it progress, no.
Anyway, Sylvine, I've got to take a break and set up for
take the break.
Yes, and set up for the next.
Thanks again to Ras and his brethren.
Yes.
Who are trying to educate our people on the African heritage.
Yes.
And you did a good job yesterday. I was thinking it was overload.
Well, he saved my life, you know, I because I'm sort of winging it until, but perhaps next week I'll be more in a flow. But I did appreciate the fact that he called and
yes, and as I tell my good morning journey.
Yes.
We go to Africa now, but we got to have an eye for the Caribbean too.
Yes. Most
definitely. You don't know what's going on here. And you only know in Africa. One morning you wake up, you don't know what's going on. All right then. God bless everybody.
Same to
and
you.
And remember tomorrow to take some time to pray, to repent.
Yes. Take
All right
care.
then. God bless you.
Yes, same to you.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is WIN FM.